Hello everyone, I'm Santiago, and today I'm gonna be testing Star Wars Battlefront 2 beta on the GeForce GTX 1050 Ti. For FPS monitoring, I'll be using CAM. If you want to download the software, there's a link down in the description. And if you enjoy the content and want to support the channel directly, there's a link to the Patreon and affiliate links down in the description as well. So Star Wars Battlefront 2 beta, I'll be doing 1080p, 900p and 1440p. To skip none of those sections of the video, check the description below. So first I'll show you 1080p, trying to get 60 frames per second, which will be ultra textures, post-process on medium and the rest on high. This setting looks very similar to ultra, at least for what I could see, but runs at pretty much 60 frames per second, which is what I was aiming for. Then I crank up the settings to the max and you'll see that we still get over 45 frames per second. At 900p I just used high settings and the game was over 60 frames per second pretty much all the time. That's why I didn't bother testing 720p. On 900p it already got over 60 frames per second on ultra, so 720p will be easier on the GPU. And finally at 1440p I first tried getting 60 frames per second, which means pretty much low settings with textures and ultra, and we get over 50 frames per second the majority of the time. And at the end I just show 1440p ultra settings and the game stays pretty much over 30 frames per second. So if you prefer quality over performance, this is the option for you. 4K low settings drop below 30 frames per second very often, so I decided not to show that. And I didn't use a better CPU this time around, since you will see that the GPU usage is around 99% the majority of the time. So that means that the GPU is a limiting factor. If you have an overclocked Ryzen 3, a modern i3, an i5 or above, you get the same results as me if your GPU clocks are similar. The frame time graph that you see in the bottom left corner of the video is a great way of knowing when a stutter happens. When you see a big spike there, it means that a frame stayed longer on screen than it should have, so you'll notice a quick freeze or a stutter, whatever you want to call it. It seems to vary quite a bit, judging by how the graph looks, but I only felt noticeable stutters on those big spikes. Other than that, the game feels very good to play. I benchmarked on 40 player matches, so we can have the most demanding stuff possible on both the GPU and CPU. So far it seems to be running very well and it looks amazing. I had trouble with DirectX 12. When I switched it on and launched the game again, my screen showed up an out of range warning, so I couldn't test DirectX 12 right now. It seems to be just a bug. The FOV slider and dynamic resolution options are disabled at the moment, so I would expect them to be there when the full game releases. To get a performance boost, I recommend first lowering mesh, effects and post-process quality. For some reason they decided to bundle reflections into the mesh quality option, so you have LOD, tessellation and reflections in just one option. If that wasn't enough to get the frame rate you wanted, lower the rest of the options that I didn't mention in groups and you should be fine. I'll explain the options more in depth once the full game releases. Anyway guys, that's pretty much it. I hope you keep enjoying the video, thanks for watching and see you next time.
Center. B1 unit activated. Forming squad. Assignment accepted. Online. mode activated. Grenade out. System damage to the MTT.
MTT targeting weapons.
Online.
The MTT is in position. Clear the area of clone resistance and prepare for phase 2. The palace throne room has been sealed. All units proceed inside and override the door control systems.
Grenade armed. Station override in progress. Ally arriving. Threat level maximum.
Transfer of east door controls completing shortly.
Activating. Grenade armed. Whoa. Roger, roger. Enemy prime. Grenade prime. Incoming attack. Sentry guns online.